The builders downstairs were throwing away this piece of MDF, and straight away I thought, aha, I know what I can do with that. So here I'm just finding the centre and I'm marking a cross in the middle, and I'm going to align my wood to that later. Every piece is cut at 45 degrees, I'm just checking it there on the combination square. Perfect. To save time, I'm cutting them a little bit longer than they actually need to be, and later on I'll trim those down. As it's pallet wood, of course, it's not square, it's not even, so I had to clean up all of the edges with a plane so they all sit nice and straight together on the glue up. A few of them were curved like this as well, so I had to flatten all of those out to get a better surface area for the glue. A little behind the scenes shot here. I've got a pretty amateur setup. I screwed some lights to a few planks of pallet wood and then clamped them to the banisters. What could possibly go wrong? I used the square here to line up all the slats and kept it clamped down so it didn't move. This really helped a lot because as soon as you get the glue on the wood, it just wants to slip and slide around. So I would definitely recommend doing something like this. It would have been a lot easier for me just to fire the nails straight down into the surface of the wood, but I didn't want to do that because I knew I'd have to plane the surface later. So I tried firing the brad nails in diagonally to secure it, but that didn't always work very well because they didn't go all the way in, so I had to tidy up the wood around the edges to avoid those nails. had to get a little creative here and use whatever I had around the house to weigh it down while the glue dried. I'm working off of a couple of plastic sawhorses here. They're not heavy enough, so as I'm planing they keep shifting and rocking and moving around. So I tried to weigh it down a little bit there, but it didn't really work. It was driving me nuts. So I think my next project is definitely to make my own workbench. So I'm about halfway by this point, and I'm really pleased because it's just starting to look like how I imagined it to, but I still have a long way to go before it's smooth. It would have been so much easier to make if I had a thickness planer, but I had to make do with my bench plane. If I made this design again, I'd try to do it with wood that's pretty much all the same thickness to save on some of the planing, because this took me hours. It really took a long time. Now I know what you're thinking, where did she get those amazing pyjama bottoms from? I'm almost flat, just a little bit more to do. Here I needed to take just a little bit more off the side, just the shaving, so it took a while to get it all aligned. A little bit left, a little bit right, wiggle it, clamp it, tap it a bit, tap it a bit more, check it square, and okay! I only needed to take a tiny bit here too, but I ended up taking too much off, so I decided to quit while I was ahead. I'll just tidy these bits up with a plane later. So giving it a light sanding now at 240 grit, going along with the grain. going to use these bits of wood that I also got from the builders downstairs as a border. I'm not sure what wood it is, but it's a bit darker than the pallet wood, so I think it's going to make a really nice contrast. You can still see the builder's to-do list on the underside of the table. I love it. You can really see that it's made out of scrap. So this is the first coat of linseed oil. You've got to make sure it's completely dry in between coats, between 24 and 48 hours. So this is the second coat of linseed oil. There's a nice generous layer of it on there, and then I'm going to wet sand at 240 grit. And we buff, buff, buff. Okay, so it's looking really nice now, but we're not done just yet. We're going to go with another coat of oil once this one has dried, and we're going to sand it at 400 grit. After wet sanding at 400 grit, you buff it until there's no oil left, and then you buff it, you buff it, you buff it some more until your arm aches. And look at this! Yeah, baby, it's looking amazing, even if I do say so myself. I was so pleased with the results at 400 grit that I decided to do one more coat of oil and a wet sand at 600 grit to see if I could get an even better shine on the table. The extra step to 600 grit didn't make that much difference to the appearance of the table, but it feels so smooth, it's like velvet, it's lovely. Guys, thanks so much for watching this upcycled pallet chevron table make. don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.